YouTube. Your boy is back once again with another dating and relationships video. Okay, so the subject today is how much money should you spend on a woman on a date? Yeah? How much money should you spend on a lady on a date? Right? Okay, so it depends on so many things, right? Is it your first date or have you been dating for a while? Have you had sex with the lady yet or not? Is she exclusively yours? Or are you both dating other people? Like, is she exclusively yours, like your long-term girlfriend or your wife? It also depends on what city you live in. Like, for example, let's take England, for example. Taking a girl out for a date in London is going to cost you more than if you're taking a girl out for a date in Scunthorpe or Scarborough. Do you get that? Yeah? It depends on that as well. And it also, of course, this should be the first thing really. It also depends on your financial situation. And it should also depend on your perception of her level of interest as well, right? So it's going to be difficult to give you a figure on how much you should spend on a date because there's so many variables. But let me help you make that decision. Let me help you make that decision on how much you should spend on a date, right? Okay. Gents, it's easier to use a woman that you're dating. Maybe the first date, maybe second, third date, yeah? Obviously, if you're married to a lady, or you're in a long-term relationship, then it gets complicated for me to advise you on that. But if you're dating a lady, right, especially if it's a first date, you want to keep your investment low. Remember, there's a trade-off. Have you seen my video entitled Why We Date? Yeah? For a lot of men, it's a route way to the pom-pom. Yeah? So whether down the line you get more serious and you go into a relationship, yeah, cool. But initially, it's a route way into the pom-pom. Yeah? Like, if the lady said, cool, let's forget this date, come back to mine or let me come back to yours, most of you guys are gonna say, yeah, all right, cool, let's allow the date, let's, what I'm saying, do the business, right? So you want to keep your investment low, right? Yes, if you are dating multiple women, but even if it's just that one woman you're dating, you want to keep your investment low initially, especially if you haven't had sex yet, especially if you're not, you can't accurately gauge her level of interest initially, yeah? Right? And also, I mentioned this on another video as well about where to take a lady on a date, yeah? So let me just, if you've seen that video, let me just recap quickly. So you pretty much want to take the girl, one of the best places to take the girl, especially on a first date or early in dating, is take her to a bar, right? Why? Many reasons. Okay, so number one, you want to be in a setting where sex can easily happen after, right? Yeah? And where you can have a conversation, yeah? A bar that's not got music playing too loud like a nightclub. So you can have a conversation, you could, do your smooth talking or whatever, whatever you guys got game, what I'm talking about. So, and then that could then lead to, we're going back to yours or you're coming back to mine. Do you understand? Right? Whereas some other dates is not as easy to do that as others. Also, speaking of keeping your investment low, when you take a girl to a bar, first of all, okay, let me just step back a bit. First of all, the amount of money you take on a date. So, like, assess how much you will probably spend on that particular date, and then bring double the money, just for comfort. So if you don't have double the money, then you need to be spending less than that. Yeah, if that makes sense. Right. So anyway, lost my train of thought. So right. So you take the girl. So you take the girl out to a bar, right? So right. So you know how much you're probably going to spend, right? When you take the girl out to a bar, there's rounds of drinks. So although you are prepared to pay for the whole date, she might offer to buy rounds, yeah? You might buy the first round, she might offer to buy the second round. Or you might buy the first 2 rounds, she might offer to buy the third round. You get me? So you have an opportunity to keep your money low because she might pay for rounds. A man them, like, early in the date, especially if you don't know her level of interest, don't say, no, I'll pay for all this. That actually sometimes does the opposite because you're telling her, I'll pay for everything for you. It's such a privilege to be on a date with you. I'll pay for everything for you. You're probably actually buying your way out of the pom-pom. Let her pay for a round if she offers, yeah? Then psychologically, she's invested more. Do you understand? Right, let's stick to the subject. So, right, so that's one of the reasons why you take the girl to a bar. You take the girl to a cinema, yeah, early. I'm talking about early on in dating, yeah, first date, second date, third date, whatever. You take her to the cinema. How are you gonna have a conversation? You take her out to eat. That's your investment's too high. Dinner is too high for an investment early in the date, especially if you haven't had sex yet. It's too high. And what are you gonna do? Save money by what? Taking her to McDonald's instead? That will be buying your way out of the pom pom. Do you understand? So forget about the restaurants, like on the first date and second date, right? Especially if you haven't had sex yet, right? You're taking her to a museum or something. That's not a place where a bar is going to be better to lead up to sex. You know what I'm saying? So, well, you got your long-term girlfriend, or you've been sleeping with a girl for a while or whatever. Then you could do them other dates, innit? Because you're still gonna have sex. Do you get me? Right. So let's get back to the subject of the financial part. Yeah. So you want to take the girl to a bar, yeah, because you want to keep your costs low. Plus it's an easier route way into maybe sleeping with the girl that night of the date, and the right setting, right time of day. Avoid the dinner thing altogether. Even lunch. Yeah. If it's a daytime date, yeah, it's best to take the lady for coffee than to lunch because you're going to keep your costs low. But what I would say is if the girl is only available in the daytime on that particular day, choose another day where you could go out on a date in the evening. Do you get that? Because again, like I said on the video, why we date, right? It's a route way for most men into the pom-pom, even though the guy sees her as wifey, yeah? So you want to keep your costs low and you want to take her to a bar. Now, another way to guide you into how much to spend, because me giving advice to a millionaire in New York compared to like a factory worker in Taiwan is going to be two different things. But another thing I'd say is when you take a lady on a date, right? Okay, you need to be comfortable financially. Don't make yourself go broke. You're not so the amount of money you spend on a date on a lady, yeah. After the date, regardless if you had sex or not, after the date, you cannot be, fuck man, that fucked up my wallet. It can't be that. Do not put yourself in that situation, yeah? Right? If you're going on a date with a lady, well, first of all, yeah, if you are that fucked for cash, yeah, and I know you don't want to hear this, but if you are that fucked for cash, you need to just step back for a bit and say, I'm not going to date women for now. be patient. I'm not gonna date women for now. If you are that much strapped for cash, I'm not going to date women for now. Are you unemployed? Are you heavily in debt? Okay, let me just build up my, build up my income and let me have some, spendable money first. Don't go into debt for taking any female on a date. It could be Jessica Rabbit come to real life. You don't put yourself into debt. Don't borrow money, yeah? Don't be in no financial ruin. Don't take a girl on a date and then you're struggling to pay your rent. Don't take a girl on a date and you're struggling to pay for anything for your kids if you have any. Yeah? Don't take a girl on a date and then afterwards there's still 3 weeks left of the month till you get paid and you end up having to eat pot noodles for the rest of the month for lunch because you can't afford anything else because you just done. Trust me, no woman is worth it. You have to be patient. There's a hot chick that is interested in you right now and your money is not saying nothing. Two things, right? You're not dating for now, or you make your game strong enough that you could see or sleep with that girl without actually a date. And that's a side note. Yeah, if your game is strong enough, you could have sex with bare chicks without a date. Yeah, so that's a little side note. You can do it. You can do it. Yeah, right. Because you can make your game strong enough, and some girls will just do it anyway, or some girls generally won't do it, but will do it with you if she has a high interest in you, or some men their game is just strong enough. So that's another thing. So either if you haven't got that level of finance to be dating, you either take a step back and focus on your income, or you could still try to sleep with women without the date. Do not mess with your finances for any females. Okay, if you're in a long-term relationship and it's you and your girlfriend's 10th anniversary, right? And you've just lost your job and you're strapped for cash a bit, but you've got another job prospect lined up, but it's not going to come into fruition for a couple of months. And then you borrow money off your best friend that understands your situation so that you can still go out and take your girlfriend out of 10 years on your 10-year anniversary or wife or whatever. Them exceptions there, I'm not going to argue with you with. Do you understand? Them exceptions there, yeah. But generally, you're not going to fuck yourself up. When you're taking a girl out for a date, the money, you need to be happy that it's gone. You need to be comfortable that I don't need that money for nothing else. This money is for the date. It's either money put aside for a date or it's spare cash. It's not the money you're going to use for food shopping. It's not rent money. It's not any of that. Right? Okay? So, how much do you spend on a woman on a date? Yeah? So, again, I cannot give you a financial amount, but you have to be comfortable before and after with the money. You have to be able to take with you. I would say triple, but I know many of you are going to say that's not practical. So you need to have available. Let's just say, for example, right? Let's say, for example, you go on a date, right? And you say to yourself, this date is going to cost me £50. You need to have £100 with you that you are happy to get rid of. If you only have the £50, take her to a place where you're going to comfortably spend £25. If you're living in New York or LA or London or Paris and you're like, I can't spend 25, I can't take her somewhere and only spend £25 or $25 or 25 euros, yeah? Then I'm not taking her on a date. You can't just be taking the exact amount on a date. You don't want to embarrass yourself, yeah? And it's not just, oh, this girl's so high and mighty, I don't want to embarrass myself in front of her. It's embarrassing, in the setting that you are, and It's just not what you do. It's not what you do in life. A business does not go and spend all their cash and never have reserves, like a sensible business. Yeah. A sensible person doesn't work up until retirement age without putting any money into investments or into a pension or anything. Yeah. So, similarly, so it's not about the girl. It's not about the girl's high and mighty. Let me have some extra money, because you're not intending to spend that extra money in it, but you're bringing double as a cushion. So just like any other financial thing. Yeah. Right. So if you're dating one woman or you're dating multiple women, you only take them on dates if you can afford it, which means I'm going to take her to this place. This place is going to cost me X. I need to have available X times 2. Right? Try take the lady to a bar. Yeah? If you do really want the pom-pom and you're either new to dating or you don't want much dates, do your due diligence in advance. Find out. Speak to your friend Tyrone that's been on many dates, yeah? And ask him for advice. Where should I take the girls? Or look online, visit, or like maybe that bar near your work that looks kind of snazzy that you see people go to. Maybe walk in there after work just to see, okay, yeah, what the drink prices, or some have the menu on the outside. You understand? So, right. So you could be on minimum wage, or you could be a millionaire. As long as you are spending what you're comfortable spending, then you need to decide how much you are able to spend on a date. Remember, when you're going on a date, have that amount times 2. Okay, I'm going there. That date's going to cost me £50. I'm taking £100 with me. I'm not going to spend the other £50, but it's there as a buffer. It's a buffer. Yeah? Okay. Guys, I hope this video has been helpful. Please, please, please do not put yourself in financial ruin to take these ladies on dates. Yeah? Right? It's not worth it. You might be taking your future wife out or whatever, but at this moment you don't know. Yes, you can have the most banging body and you so much want to sex her, but don't use money to do it. Take her on that standard. I'm taking you out for. Don't say, "Oh wow, this woman's so amazing. I need to take her to this, this big restaurant in Manhattan or this big restaurant in central London." Yeah, and splash the cash, show off, buy lobster and steak in the same meal, buy all expensive wine or champagne. For what? That kind of treatment there is for your girlfriend or wife, or a girl that's been in your rotation for long term, months upon months. Okay, we have amazing sex. Okay, I enjoy your company. Okay, I like eating out. Let me share this time with you. Do you get that? Not, a girl like this has never accepted my invitation to go on a date before. A girl like this, wow, she's 9 out of 10 or 10 out of 10, and I never get this level of girl. Let me just, let me find out the most expensive restaurant to impress her with. She should be impressed by you. Girls subconsciously could see when you're trying to overcompensate for your lack of self-worth. And then their interest starts lowering, and they don't even know why their interest is starting to lower. Because it's subconscious. But females can see, yeah, that you're trying to overcompensate for your lack of self-worth. Do you understand? So, I hope the points in this video has helped you decide how much you should spend and where you should take a lady to on a date, right? And that's it. I'm not going to say no more on it because I can ramble on forever. But what I'd like you to do, if you like the video, click the like button. Also, if you haven't subscribed yet, which I'm sure you have, But if you haven't, click the subscribe button and click the notification bell so that YouTube can let you know when your boy posts another dating and relationships video.